boys and girls, but mostly boys, and I'm only saying that because of my YouTube statistics. So girls, let's even out that subscriber count. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, bring that percentage up. Let's go. Today is the video that you've all been waiting for. I know I talk a lot about winter 2021 animes, but today we are going to be making a tier list and ranking these winter 2021 animes based on my opinion and my opinion only. So let's get into it.
マトカが参ります。ご注意ください。
Hey friends, what is good? So yes, we are going to be looking at winter 2021 animes today. As we have done so a few times in the past, you can check out those other videos. So I know it's a little bit premature. I feel like people usually, if they're going to be talking about the animes or rating the animes, they watch the whole season first. But we are winding down into spring. So I'm just gonna call it right here, right now, and put my input in on these 2021 winter anime. Also, a quick reminder, if you have not subscribed, please do so. I've been taking a look at the percentage of non-subscribers watching my videos versus subscribers, and we did pretty good after I posted about just having a real shit percentage. Now we're up to like 4% or something like that, and I'm sure it was like 1% or 2% the last time I checked. Not gonna lie, 4% is still pretty pathetic. If I got 4% on any test, either in high school or college or any time in my life, I would probably get disowned. So let's bring that percentage up, guys. If I literally entertained you for like a millisecond, that's enough to warrant a subscribe in my opinion. So let's get started. So right here we have our tier list, and I narrowed it down into 5 different categories based on Japanese words that would be able to describe the category the best. So at the top we got our S tier, which is sugoi. Everyone should know what that means. If you don't, look it up. Our next tier is A for amazing, which obviously is amazing in Japanese. Sugoi and amazing are like onaji. They're literally the same. It's like the direct translation, but we're gonna just differentiate it for the sake of this list. I apologize. For the B tier, we have bimyo. Pretty much translates as like iffy. It's questionable, like what's up with that? Don't really know. We have our C tier, which is chotto, because chotto is always like, it's like not super great. If you ask someone on a date and they're like, chotto, then that's probably not a good sign. So our C tier is gonna be chotto. And our D tier, of course, is doshite, because you have to ask why if you're watching any of these animes in the D tier, unless you're just so bored and have literally nothing to do. I do want to say I'm only going to be ranking the anime that I have a little bit of experience with, so either I'm watching it pretty religiously or I've seen a few episodes and I know enough that I probably dropped it already. And on that note, let's just start ranking, because that's what this video is about. So our first anime is Kemono Jihen. Now I actually do really like this anime. Even from the start, it was very compelling. The characters and their development are all pretty good, and I'm a freaking sucker for anything that has to do with like demons or supernatural or superpowers or anything like that. I'm not gonna say this is a top tier though, because it's good, but it doesn't have a legit storyline. I feel like it does, but it's kind of a little choppy and broken up. I'm gonna go with amazing. Kemono Jihen amazing desu, and that's just in my opinion, but I'm putting it at a pretty high tier, I think. The next one is the second season of Reincarnated as a Slime. Of course, it's the second season, so if you haven't watched the first season, it's a little hard to just jump in and be like, yo. But I was hooked since the first season. When the first season is so great of anything, second season, third season, everything else kind of falls a little lower than like top tier. So I'm not gonna say this is top tier either, but I keep watching it every week. That's one of the things I can say for this anime season. I'm not watching a lot of anime shows religiously each week. Like sometimes I just don't watch anime at all, but this is one of the ones where when I see it come out, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty stoked to watching this. So I'm also gonna be put in amazing desu. Next we have Byoui Ramune. I explained it in another video. It's more like a bunch of short stories that are very quirky. The characters are super quirky as well, but there's not, to my knowledge, a real like storyline. I like it. It's funny, it's quirky, it's chill. It's like Zoe Deschanel if you put her in an anime a little bit. That's a horrible representation. I don't know why that came to my head, but I'm gonna put this at Bimyo because while it is entertaining, like certain episodes, it's not something that compels me where I feel like I need to watch it all the time either, and that's a very like questionable feel, right? So we're gonna put it Bimyo. The next one we have is the spider one, which is like Kumo Desu Ga or something like that. I actually really like this anime, but only specific parts of it. When it's talking about the main character, which is Spider Girl, she knows she's in this like weird situation where she's been reincarnated as a spider and she has to like level up and survive. So I'm into that. When it pans to like all of the other students and goes through their storylines, that's where I'm like, okay, like literally I can skip this part. It's like a Naruto filler versus like the Naruto arc. Like you're gonna watch the main arc, but you're not necessarily gonna watch the fillers unless you're bored. So I want to put it as Amazing Go, but I can't because I literally only like half of it. So I'm gonna put it at Bimyo as well. And that is just facts. That is just how I feel. The next anime is Mushoku Tensei. This is where some of the animes, like, they start getting into the territory of a little pervy, a little, like, chotto hentai, but not full hentai. You know, I understand where we're coming from. We've been in a pandemic. Everyone's a little pent up. That's a good word to use. There's a certain occasion for that kind of content, and it's not like an everyday buffet. Besides all of that, I wouldn't say this is like super pervy or anything. So I would say just the reason for me watching it is for the magic aspect and not actually the storyline. But we're gonna go with a choto for Mushoku Tensei just because I'm not the biggest fan. And moving along, let's go straight into World Trigger Season 2. I've been waiting for this one for a long time. I know I've said it before, but this has not disappointed. I think the main thing that annoyed me with the first season, not to try and spoiler alert, but if you don't want to know anything about it, click off now, is that Osamu, which is one of the main characters, he's so freaking weak. I'm sorry, bro, but you're so weak and you don't do anything about it except you make your shield a little bigger, but that ain't gonna do shit. And Chika, the sniper girl as well, she's like, I can't shoot a human. It's like, grow up. Come on, girl. You shoot a freaking cannon, just disintegrate some people. But it feels like there is a lot of character growth for this second season, and I'm all in it because I still really like the first season. I'm gonna put this one as Amazing Go as well. And then we have a fan favorite. It is Dr. Stone. I know a lot of people really like season 1. Season 2 is just a continuation from season 1. It's the war. Everyone's getting heated. Everyone's getting fed up. We're gonna have some clashing. With that being said, it's not my favorite. Maybe it's just because the spread of anime, you know, like if I'm going to a buffet, I'm going straight for the expensive stuff, and this is more like a filler for me. It's like the rice, like you need the rice with the meal, but obviously I'm going for the sashimi first. Now, I don't want to give it a horrible rating because a lot of people really like it, but to be honest, I just watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes and I haven't touched it since. So while I do like the concept, I'm like kind of iffy on it, so I have to go with the questionable iffy. I haven't even put an S or a D tier yet, so everything's kind of in the middle. Here's where that might change. We're going with redo of Healer. When I first started watching, you know, there were mixed opinions about it for sure. It was a little graphic. As the series kept going, it turned into just like they be piping. And with most animes, I feel like they glide through hentai. Like if hentai was like a bubble, it would like scratch the surface, but it would not penetrate. But this does full penetration in literally every sense possible. The creators were like, okay, you know, pandemic's been happening, these people want what they want, and they want some hardcore stuff apparently. And listen, you know, I'm not trying to shame sexual things. It's perfectly fine. You do you, that's fine. But I was like, what the hell is this? A time and a place, I would say, for sure with this one. And that's why it's going with Choto. And then we have another fan favorite. Why is all the ones I choose fan favorites? Because I am a simp. And so, Jujutsu Kaisen, where do we put it? That automatically goes on the S tier. And if you don't know why, then educate yourself. It was the freaking #1 rated anime or whatever on the Crunchyroll, whatever. And if that doesn't prove anything, then you should just watch it and figure out why it's so great. The eyes, man. I don't care if you're a man or a woman or a dog or a python. Once you see the eyes, it's like... Then we have Log Horizon, which I was like, this is like the freaking 100th season of Log Horizon. What I'm gonna say about this is it's boring. It's so freaking boring. I am sorry for anyone who really likes it, but it's sad to say, but it feels like American politics, as messed up as they are right now, are even more exciting and more entertaining than this anime, because this anime is literally just about politics. And even if there is a little action, it's being told through the eyes of another person, and it's just weird and strange. And I gotta say, honestly, I gotta say doshite. Like, why am I watching this? Because it's just feels like a waste of my time. And then we have X-Arm. I was like, oof. This style of animation is not to my liking. It's kind of like when you go to a puppet show or a marionette show, but the movement of the characters kind of reminded me of that. While that was a little like, to me, I actually really like the storyline for some reason. It's hard because it's between an A and a B, I would say. But because of just the animation alone, it's something I really had to get used to. I'm just going Bimyo, but it could very well be an amazing goo. If we got a few more to go, the next one is, it's called something like, oh, it's a dungeon just for me and I train in it, or whatever. I don't really remember. This is kind of like the tame version of Redo of Healer, I would say. Kind of a comedy, but there's some adventure as well. It kind of has the Kumo Desu Ga gaming feel, where like the main character is leveling up, but then he also kind of has to do like some pervy things in order to level up and stuff, and it's a little weird, I will say that. I'm gonna put this as Bimyo as well. I'm sorry that I'm putting everything in the middle, but this one is like, it's good on a good day, but sometimes you're not really feeling it as well. I can understand that. Then we have Last Dungeon, and I also talked about this one in a past video before. You can go check that out. But the main reason why I'm not loving this one is just because the main character. Like, I'm sorry, you are a wimp, main character. You are a wimp. And not in like a cute way, like Suna in Katekyo Reborn. Like, that's like a cute, like, oh, I can't do it. But this is a little like, you dumb, because you're actually strong, and literally you can't see it because you dumb. Those are the kind of main characters where I'm like, okay, like, I know it's supposed to be like kind of cute or something like that, but bro, like, let's get some content here, and the content is not being given to me. So I'm really going with Choto for this one, sorry. Then we have Yakusoku no Neverland. I actually binged season 1 right before season 2 came out, so I was on the hype. I would say season 2, it's not disappointing. It's still pretty good. I would have to rank this pretty high just because first season was bomb and second season is a little less bomb, but it's still a bakuhatsu. It's still an explosion. People are still enjoying it. I'm still enjoying it. I pretty much have to put this as A tier, I think. So amazing good this. And finally we have the last one. What's it called? Vlad Love or Vlad Blood or something like that. Now, I appreciate the storyline for sure. I think it's a good concept, it's a good storyline, but it didn't compel me to keep watching it because I picked it up at the same time as X-Arm. It was like between those three, it's like, which ones am I gonna keep watching, which ones am I gonna drop? And this one I just had to drop. It just wasn't my vibe. So of course I have to put it as Choto, but the vibe could be someone else's vibe. So if that is something you're interested, check it out. And there we go. That is our full tier list. Just to wrap things up, let's go through it. On the S tier, we got Jujutsu Kaisen, which is, of course, sugoi. For A, amazing good, we have Kemono Jihen. Reincarnated as a slime, World Trigger, and Yakusoku no Neverland. On the B tier for Bimyo, we have Byoui Ramune, we have Kumo Desu Ga, we got Dr. Stone, X-Arm, and the Secret Dungeon one, which I still can't remember the name to. On our Chotto list, we got Mushoku Tensei, we got Redo of Healer, Last Dungeon, whatever it's called, and Vlad Love. And for the D tier, we have Log Horizon. That might be a controversial one, because I'm sure some people really like it. Not my thing though. And yes, that wraps up our tier list. If you like the idea of me making tier lists, I know it's something that's been done by many YouTubers, many Twitch streamers and stuff like that. So it is something that is pretty saturated content, but I actually enjoyed making it. So if you want to see other tier lists from me, make sure to leave a comment below, make sure to like this video, and once again, as I said before, let's get those subscriber count up, let's get that percentage up, and I'll see you next time. Peace.